Hey everyone, welcome to this short video. Welcome to Rodha. Now it's very obvious what we are going to discuss in this short video. CAT 2025 के लिए we are launching our new batch and this video will talk about the VARC section, how we plan to take you to your desired percentile. My name is KD and I have been in this field for almost 2 decades. I take VARC sessions and also of course the GDPI and WAT part. I have been writing CAT pretty often and I bring all my experiences and expertise in the class when I take live sessions for Rodha. So in this short video, I'll talk about what we plan to do for CAT 2025 aspirants and I will also talk about a lot of finer points that makes your preparation top class. I would also discuss one short RC and if you're targeting CAT 24, you must go through that particular portion. Correct. And if you're targeting CAT 25, you should stay throughout the video. Now the most important question that you might have in your mind is, we have about a year left. CAT में अभी 1 साल बाकी है. अभी से टेंशन लेना चाहिए क्या? Should I worry about it from now onwards? The answer is yes. Reason? CAT over the years has changed. Now I would talk about the VARC section primarily, but CAT over the years has changed. Now if you look at CAT papers, especially since 2017, you would see that the reading comprehension section of CAT is becoming more abstract, more dense. They have introduced the critical reasoning questions in the RCs big time. 2021 के बाद का paper, if you see, since 2021 the paper of CAT is becoming more critical reasoning based. तो अगर आपको CR नहीं आता, you would face problems. I will show you the usage of critical reasoning in CAT in a short while. Just stay tuned with me. And of course, VARC section now requires more higher order thinking, which means you should be able to deal with inference based questions, application based questions, questions where you have to basically use your brains rather than just familiarity with language. Now that explains why you should prepare from now onwards. But you might ask, okay, but what does CAT really ask? CAT में क्या पूछते हैं? क्यों पूछते हैं? Can you just tell us something about it? Sure, let's go to that part now. Now, if you ask any student, what do you think CAT VARC section actually judges? They would typically answer saying that, they judge English language ka knowledge, they judge vocab, they judge grammar, comprehension, speed, concentration, stamina, ability to manage time, stress handling ability. Now, the reality is all of this is important. But this is not why VARC section is there in CAT. CAT में VARC section का होने का reason कुछ और है. The reason why CAT actually checks your VARC skills is to check an extremely important managerial quality, and that is known as the ability to handle ambiguity. Now you would say, ये क्या चीज़ है? So I'll quickly tell you. If you look at quant LRDI sections, mostly you would have a question, you would have a set of questions and you should be able to answer the question by solving it. You can also verify your answer. तो आप question solve करते हो, आप उस question को verify कर सकते हो. You have a very cut and dried process, step by step process through which you ultimately arrive at the answer. But if you look at VARC section, you would see most of the questions would say which of the following is the most appropriate or best possible answer. Now you would not see the same thing in quant LRDI. Quant LRDI में ऐसा नहीं होता. They would ask which of the following is the best value of x or most appropriate value of x. Why? Because in quant LRDI you hardly have ambiguity. Ambiguity basically means possibility that more than one option can be correct. Whereas in VARC you are supposed to find optimal answer. Optimal answer means based on the conditions, A, B, C, D, suppose 4 options are given. Based on the conditions, A is better than B, C and D. It does not make B, C or D wrong answer. Unlike in quant and LRDI. Now if you are from science background, engineering background, it's very hard for you to accept that a question can have multiple answer. एक question का multiple answer कैसे हो सकते हैं? एक ही correct answer होना चाहिए. There should be a perfect answer and this mentality creates all the problems. Correct? So what do? Can we eradicate ambiguity completely? The answer is no. Completely eradicate नहीं कर पाएंगे. We can reduce it. We can reduce it to a very, very small percentage, but completely eradicate नहीं हो सकता. In fact, ambiguity is a real life problem also. Suppose tomorrow as an executive, you are supposed to decide who becomes the next leader of a vertical A, B, C, D. When you say C should be the correct choice, it doesn't mean A, B and D cannot be the correct choice at all. All it means is C, given the situation, is the most appropriate optimal answer. तो VARC थोड़ा सा ग्रे एरिया वाला सेक्शन है and our scientific mind doesn't accept it. And therefore we need a lot of training to be good at VARC. VARC अच्छा करोगे अगर आप ambiguity accept करोगे. If you accept yes, more than one answer is possible, you would be able to do very well in this. Of course, more about it in the live classes. तो अभी थोड़ा और आगे चलते हैं. Now this is probably a very well-known thing that CAT tells you. If you look at the CAT prospectus also, they say that okay, we will check your VARC abilities. Verbal ability, reading comprehension, we'll check. They don't tell you the syllabus, honestly. They don't tell you the pattern. The ranking is also relative. Your ranking depends on how others are doing. If others are better than you are, even if you are good enough, you would not get a high percentile. Cutoff cannot be predicted. Number of questions you should attempt can't be predicted. And accuracy is very important. If you have very low accuracy, no matter how much you attempt, getting a high score is very difficult. So this is an exam where the enemy is shape shifter kind of a person. पता ही नहीं चलता क्या करेगा वो. So becomes very hard for most of us. Does it mean CAT is like super difficult exam? हो ही नहीं सकता. For example, in VARC, you have 24 questions right now and every question is 3 marks. So you have 72 marks overall in the VARC section. For getting a 99 percentile in 2023 CAT, if you are not aware, just guess what was the requirement in terms of marks. कितने marks चाहिए थे for 99 percentile out of 72? Okay, just do the basic stuff in your head and then I'll show you the real number. Now students typically, when I ask this question in classes, students typically say, sir, 70 out of 72, because we have that, school mindset. You have to get 100% to get top rank. Some students would say, sir, 65 to chahiye, 60 to chahiye, come on, 60 minimum. If you look at the last year data, this is what it was. For a 99 percentile, you needed 40 marks out of 72. So at about 55% marks, you got a 99 percentile. You are in the top 1% if you could crack half the questions. You got 80th percentile. Last year, approximately 2.75 lakh students wrote CAT. You were in the top 50,000 students if you could manage 18 out of 72. What does it mean? CAT is very tough. Yes, but more importantly, it means कोई पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहा है. Students are mostly not doing their level best. They are not doing what they should. They are not working hard. Let's accept it. Anybody who is consistently working hard is likely to get a decent percentile relatively easily. I'm not saying बिल्कुल आसान है. I'm not saying that very clearly. All I'm saying is it's quite doable. इतना मुश्किल नहीं जितना बना देते हो इसको, right? हवा नहीं बनाना है इसका. Don't make a bogey out of it. Even a 95 percentile, which is a very decent percentile, you got it at around 29 marks out of 72. I think if you work for a year, this kind of a percentile should be absolutely doable, right? So remember, I'm not saying it's very easy to do, but I'm saying it's relatively easy to do provided you put in the right efforts. इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं है, honestly speaking. Yes, getting a 100 percentile. Last year I got 50.43 or something, 50.43, and I had 99.86. You can see this very clearly, right? So getting 100, absolutely stunning performance, but getting a 99 is quite doable. Sounds very difficult, it's quite doable. All you need to do is follow a very, very clear-cut path, work very hard, and it is achievable. आराम से हो सकता है. Now, if you look at the last year paper, last 3 years in fact, they have been asking 24 questions. 2/3 of the questions are from reading comprehension, 4 passages, 4 questions each. Passages are mostly abstract, but some of them, at least one of them, is always factual. Then you have verbal ability questions where you have 4 categories. Last year they asked all 4 categories. Last to last year they had asked 3 out of 4. तो थोड़ा change करते रहते हैं, right? And 2 questions each, or 3, 3, 2, something like that. They always create. Theta basically means that you have to type in the answer. There is no negative marking in this. MCQs में 4 options are given and you have to tick the answer. Now in theta, remember they are time trap. They are created mostly to make sure that you spend a lot of time doing it, right? तो थोड़ा सा उनकी चाल होती है, वो हमें समझना पड़ेगा. And we have to develop internal mechanism to leave a question if we think we are getting just trapped. There is no way out of this question. तो छोड़ना, ये सब preparation का part होता है, हमें करना पड़ता है. So if you are thinking about preparing for CAT, especially for CAT next year, there are of course 4 verticals we have to work on. We have to work on our vocab, we have to work on grammar, we have to work on the reading comprehension and reasoning skills. Mostly remember, it's a game of reading ability. If you can read very clearly, critically, if you can read, and you have decent enough logical skills, you should be able to crack a 95 percentile very easily. I'll give you a direct example right away. No matter you are targeting CAT 24 or 25, you can pause the video here and read the passage and then I would discuss it. The second part is here. Again, pause the video and read this part completely. Now in our regular classes, we devote a lot of time developing our critical reading ability, the ability to recognize which part is a claim of the author, which part is author giving a lot of details and catching that main idea of the author. Once you do that, because nowadays RCs are full of critical reasoning questions, doing them would be extremely easy. Now this passage is from CAT 2023 slot 2. Just check it. And it's a fairly decent enough RC. It's not an easy one for sure. And we would see if we know critical reasoning, can we get 3 out of 4 questions right in a relatively shorter period of time. करके देखते हैं हो सकता है कि नहीं. So you have read that already, but I'm just reading the main claim areas quickly. We learn all this in the classes also. The positivists worried to stake out their claim for history as science. So positivists want to say that history is science. Contributed the weight of their influence to the cult of facts. History consists of a corpus of facts. The facts are available to the historian in documents, inscriptions and so on. What is a historical fact? And then it says, but this view calls for 2 observations. So author tells you what is a fact and then there are 2 observations. The facts speak only when the historian calls on them. So author here is saying, you know what, historians manipulate facts. Historians use facts as they want to. So if they want to show somebody as great, they would pick out facts which support the theory. If they want to say that somebody was bad, then they use facts accordingly. The historian is necessarily selective. The belief in a hard core of historical facts existing objectively and independently of the interpretation of the historian is a fallacy, but one which it is very hard to eradicate. Now if you look at the main idea of the author, what is the main idea? Facts don't exist in isolation. Facts are not facts. Really, they are basically used by historians to say whatever they want to say. Facts are very selectively used by historians. Historians fact को अपने हिसाब से यूज करते हैं, तोड़ मरोड़ के जैसे मर्जी. कोई फैक्ट अपने आप में फैक्ट नहीं होता. Facts are not objective. They are not without any kind of bias. They are used with bias. They are used subjectively. They are used for an opinion. Facts don't exist in vacuum. Now, if you analyze CAT nowadays, you would see that questions are broadly 2 types. One is factual, based on the details, and one is critical reasoning based. Mostly critical reasoning, 1 or 2 questions on facts. For example, this one says, according to this passage, which of the following statements best describes the importance of archaeology for historians? So we can get the answer from where it is mentioned. We have to find what is the importance of archaeology for the historians. Now, if you read this part, but to praise a historian for his accuracy is like praising an architect for using well-seasoned timber. It's necessary condition for his work, but not his essential function. It's precisely for matters of this kind that historian is entitled to rely on archaeology. So what is the role of archaeology? To make sure that historians get right facts, to make sure that the facts are right, to confirm the facts for the historians. तो archaeology क्या करता है? Historians के लिए facts check करता है. हो गया आंसर. Archaeology helps historians to locate the oldest civilizations. No. Archaeology helps historians to ascertain factual accuracy. Yes. हो गया आंसर. This is CAT 2023 slot 2. Now, you might say, sir, but you must have picked up easy passage. No, when students wrote this CAT, they came back and said, sir, बड़ा मुश्किल था, समझ नहीं आया. Now it may look easy because we are doing it in a certain way. If you do it otherwise, it might be hard. Let's look at the next question. All of the following can weaken the passage's claim that facts do not speak for themselves, except. Understand the question first. This is what we keep on teaching in the class. We have to weaken the claim that facts do not speak for themselves. Weaken it means, let's remove do not from here. Right? So what do we have to do? We have to find 3 options out of 4, A, B, C, D में से. We have to find 3 options that say facts speak for themselves. Facts do not speak for themselves means facts are dependent. Facts speak for themselves means facts are independent. Facts are objective. 3 ऑप्शन में लिखा होगा facts are objective, facts are independent. एक में नहीं लिखा होगा. Let's see. The truth value of fact is independent. This can't be the answer. A fact by its very nature is objective, universal, irrespective of context. ये नहीं हो सकता. Facts like truth can be relative. This is the answer. Fact is presented does not have any bearing on the production of meaning. Means facts and meanings, they do not really have any kind of relationship. In other words, facts are independent. तो ये भी आंसर नहीं हो सकता. This one is saying relative. What is fact for a person X is not a fact for a person Y. So it changes from person to person. But हमें चाहिए था facts are independent. तो वो सिर्फ ऑप्शन सी में है. तो हो गया आंसर. That's it. If you are good at CR, we practice this in CR. If you're good in CR, you can do a lot of questions extremely fast. And we have not even done basics right now. है ना? अभी तक basics भी नहीं किया है. फिर भी आप कर सकते हो question. I'm pretty sure you understood this. You could do this. If the author of the passage were to write a book on the Battle of Hastings along the lines of her reasoning, the focus of the historical account would be, now the author clearly has said that facts are important, but facts can be ascertained by archaeologists also. Historians use facts only for their own purpose. So according to the author, facts are not that important, right? Because they are manipulated, they are used by historians. So this author, if he writes according to his own theory, he would not focus on facts. Then what would he focus on? On other things. The context, for example. So answer वही होगा. Exploring the socio-political economic factors that led to the battle. He would not focus on the fact. He would focus on socio-political economic factors. हो गया answer. He would produce a detailed timeline. He would not focus on facts. Deriving historical facts from the relevant. He would not focus on facts. Providing a nuanced interpretation by relying on auxiliary sciences means archaeology, etc. Facts? No, he would not. He would only focus on the context, not on the facts really. Okay, answer. Now look at the last one. All of the following describe the common sense view of history except. Common sense view of history. The author says, first ascertain the facts, then draw your conclusion from them. Ascertain the facts, draw a conclusion. This is what is called common sense view of history. From facts, draw your conclusion. This is common sense view of history. All of the following describe the common sense view of history except. 3 options would say, from facts, derive conclusion. One would not say that. Real history can be found in ancient engraving and archival documents. From archival documents, engravings, derive history, derive conclusion. This is not except answer. हमें except ढूंढना है. Only the positivist methods can lead to credible historical knowledge. This position that from facts you can derive conclusion, this is what positivists believed. So very clearly they believed that only their method is right method. This can't be the answer. History is like a science, a selective system of cognitive orientation to reality. This is not common sense view. From facts you can derive conclusion. C is not saying that. The answer हो सकता है. History can be objective like the science if it is derived from historical fact. Common sense view बिल्कुल भी नहीं हो सकता. तो answer C हो गया. Now, 2 things everyone. We just did a CAT 2023 passage and despite everything, I'm pretty sure you were able to do 3 out of 4. If you know the very basic level of critical reasoning, basic level of reading, doing an actual CAT passage can be this easy. Now, am I saying it's going to be same this year? I don't know. Next year? I don't know. But this is an actual CAT passage. It tells you that if your processes and systems, if your approach is right, you can do questions extremely fast. Of course, it depends on how much practice you put in, वो तो matter करेगा ही. तो question ये है that what do we plan to do, हम कैसे पढ़ाने वाले हैं, what is our planning, what do we plan to do in the next 1 year. Let's look at that now. So I will take just 2 more minutes and finish it up very quick. What are we going to do? So first of all, if you join us right now, we have about approximately 13 months left, let's say 12 months left. So we plan to do things in certain manner, in 4 steps basically. The first is we would focus on language development in the first 3 months. Now remember, this timeline would shrink as we approach CAT. So language development पहले करेंगे. So we would focus on language skills, we would focus on critical reading foundation, not reasoning बाद में, critical reading foundation. So we would teach you how to read better, how to understand the claim of the author, how to interpret better, वगैरह वगैरह. Then of course we would also look at vocab and grammar foundation, and we would learn how to interpret complex sentences and passages. जबरदस्त तरीके से खूब सारी classes, we would do live classes, and we would learn all this. And of course we have a list of articles ready, we have a list of RC tests ready, we have a lot of RC tests, sectional tests ready with video solutions also. तो सारा आपके लिए ready है, वो काम आ जाएगा. Second is, once we have got our grasp on language, we would start focusing on the scoring part, and there we would start working on comprehension of difficult passages. We would start focusing on accuracy, not speed, accuracy, and understanding complex passages. Then we would focus on question types and option interpretation and elimination. You just saw, if you know how to read questions, interpret them, eliminate options, you can do questions like this. Otherwise, people go absolutely crazy getting wrong answers. So what we believe here at Rodha is that teaching should be in depth, and teaching should be able to change your basic approach and let you know what are the best practices. And we try to teach from our own experiences writing CAT. तो वहाँ पे आपको वो benefit बहुत ज़्यादा मिल जाता है. Right, now next 3 months, we would focus on increasing our accuracy, mastering attempt and accuracy, that finding that sweet spot, and of course focusing on speed now. So speed comes later, and managing difficult questions. All along we would also be writing sectionals, we would be writing mocks also, but towards the end of the last 2-3 months, we would start focusing on fine-tuning exam strategy, time management, mock analysis, and booster sessions, because the final months would be the ये दुख का है खत्म नहीं होता phase. And here at Rodha, what we try to do is we try to make sure that we give you the very best in terms of teaching, in terms of mentoring, in terms of guidance. We'll keep it very simple through our videos, through our live classes, through our high quality mocks, through our sectionals, and through our constant monitoring. We would make sure that you get the very best. Now, before I let you go, in case you are writing CAT 25 and you have queries that I did not answer in this video, please let me know in the comment box. And also in the comment box, you can write me what else I can help you with in VARC. अगर आप CAT 25 prepare कर रहे हो, तो लिख के जाना. Even if you have not joined us, that's all right, no problem. But लिख के जाना if you need any kind of help in the VARC section. And of course, let me know how you found the video. Thank you so much for joining me here. All the best.